Like, what is your motivation? And for me is I don't want poverty.
So you can go ahead and say hello. And this interview, I have anticipated interviewing Betty Kyallo for a very long time, and somehow our schedules just could not have it. And
I think, were you both looking at me?
Betty Kyallo is a prominent woman based in Kenya. She quit K24 and started her own salon and spa business in Kilimani named Flair by Betty. In mid-2021, she started another business, Aftershave by Flair Barbershop in BK Closet. On June 17, 2022, Showmax introduced Kyallo Culture, a new Kenyan reality series about Betty Kyallo and her sisters Mercy and Gloria. There was quite a spectacle on set evening at a popular city club in Kilimani, Nairobi, after media personality Betty Kyallo encountered her ex Nick Ndeta. It all started when Betty, chic and semi-casually dressed, entered the club in the company of a young-looking man. The two were directed to a reserved table at the club's VIP section and offered a couple of drinks later. However, after a few minutes, when Betty was busy snuggling with her company, Nick showed up at the club with a young-looking female friend. The club was busy that evening and filled with Nigerians celebrating Nigerian National Independence Day. It's safe to assume that both couples were unaware of each other's presence at the club, as Nick, who had a blonde hair look and smoked as he entered, headed in the same direction as Betty. Nick and his female friend were offered a seat in the VIP section, next to where Betty was cuddling with her date. Unfortunately, at this point, the two couples spotted each other, creating an awkward moment between them. But Betty was not about to let the awkwardness ruin her pleasant time as she walked away with her friend and opted to sit at another place where Nick was not in sight. To mark her 30th birthday, former K24 news anchor Betty Kyallo spilled the beans about her personal life. In a tell-it-all interview with comedian Jalando, Betty talked about her life, career, and marriage to former NTV investigative journalist and news anchor Dennis Akari. Among the issues she talked about was her baby daddy's recent nuptials and rumors about the bride having been her maid of honor during her wedding to Dennis. "I wish nothing but the best for Akari and his new bride, because I moved on with my life since our divorce and managed to find happiness again. And I would not want him to still be affected by our separation, but to be able to move on and find happiness like I did," Betty said during the interview. And about that rumor that has been going around that my ex's bride was my maid of honor at my wedding to Akari is just lies. I do not know her, and we have never met before. The maid of honor at my wedding was gospel artiste Rosie Ohan, she added. However, what had left netizens with raised eyebrows was Betty's mother's comments during the show.
I'm gonna be on TV for sure. But also, listen, I've been on TV for 8 years and part of the whole K24 fraternity because of bringing this epic thing to TV, to Kenyan TV. All right, let's do this.
After dating the governor, you know you can only date president.
No, that's not true. Actually, no.
You can't go below that. You can't go below that.
Who said?
Failures. Her curvy physique and exquisite looks are any man's cup of tea. I mean, she's a hottie. But only the men who have gone through her can fathom why they decided to walk away after a short period of dating her. There are numerous men out here salivating to have a piece of her, and her DMs are filled with suitors. But she goes for however she thinks is the right one, but ends up choosing the wrong anyway. Her antics in replacing men remains unmatched, and it seems like the Kamba curse runs in the family. Not my words, but Betty said it herself after snitching one of her sisters. According to Betty, one of her sisters, Mercy Kyallo, also struggles when it comes to relationships and can't keep a man too. But unlike Betty, Mercy is not one to showcase her relationships on social media that much, and that's why not much is known about her private lives. But in their new show, Kyallo Culture, they don't hide anything. And this is why Betty has exposed her sister in a recent interview, where she claimed that she's also a victim of scandals when it comes to relationships. Controversial blogger Edgar Obare some time back exposed a number of prominent people on his social media platforms with the claims that they participates in wash business. Well, Betty Kyallo was amongst the people listed on Oberay's platform with the claims that she is also involved in the money laundering business, as seen on Betty's Instagram platform. One of her fans asked her if it is true she is involved in the business. The celebrity did not fail to respond. Betty Kyallo shared a picture of herself on her Instagram page. This is when one of her fans commented by asking her a question, if she is involved in the business, which was exposed by Obaray. The mother of one responded by writing, "Lol," without clearly stating whether the accusations are true or false. Betty's response elicited reactions on Instagram as her followers also commented on the same. They went ahead and asked her to clarify the matter. Kenyan thespian Martin Gathinji, also known as Daddy Marto, finally came out to narrate how he managed to secure the social media accounts of media personality Betty Kyallo, which were on the brink of being hacked. Speaking in an interview, Daddy Marto, who also doubles up as an actor, revealed that it took him nearly 5 hours to secure the said social media accounts from the hands of hackers. Explaining the details of the fateful day, Marto revealed that one of the things that helped secure the accounts was that Betty acted quickly and reached out to him for help. When Betty realized that there was something going off with her account, she immediately acted upon it, which is a thing a lot of people don't do. So, her accounts were hacked. Her daughter's account as well. She had difficulties in gaining access to her over 3 million followers. He narrated. Marto explained that there were various security measures that were not in place for Kyallo's accounts, thus making them an easy target. There are security measures unfortunately she hadn't put before that made it easier for the hackers to come through. But then that's where people like me, who are inclined towards the tech side, come in, he added. Admitting that it was an intense evening when he first received the call from Betty, Marto added that he managed to secure 7 accounts in a span of 5 hours. I started rescuing her accounts from around 5 or 6 p.m. and I finished around 10 p.m. so it took me around 4 to 5 hours because for her it was a lot of accounts that they were trying to hack at the same time. Her Facebook, her email, her company's email, 3 companies' accounts, and then another extra email. So 7 accounts in total, he said, taking the opportunity to issue a word of advice. Marto said social media users should avoid clicking on unverified links because they are commonly used as bait to access one's account. I would like to advise anyone else who has a social media account and they are using it for business or even for connecting with friends. Be careful on type of links you click because you will never know what kind of DMs will leak should you become a victim, he advised.